Welcome to the UK Fantasy Football Show, Goal's weekly podcast that discusses many of football fans' favourite pastime. We'll be analysing Game Week 27's results, discussing what FPL managers should do about the Carabao Cup final disruption, and revealing our teams for Game Week 28. Joining us this week for the second time this season is Goal's international managing editor, Rob Parrish. How are you faring in the FPL world this season?
Still very average.
Still very average.
Very average first time I came on, still very average now. I'm disappointed you brought me on this week, as it was on the back of possibly the worst week I've had in a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, afraid so.
I think you're 20 points above me.
What's your overall rank at the moment?
Overall rank?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I have no idea. Am I supposed to research these
He's
things?
about 80 points behind you.
Oh, right, okay. Ooh, yeah.
Sam's a fair bit clear of us now.
I'm like, I think you're probably, in the grand scale of fantasy football, I think you're probably above average. You believe in yourself a bit more.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it depends. Where are you drawing the lines? He must be
in the
average-ish.
middle.
He's not like so he's definitely
Bang on
not.
where
He's
that
definitely not
average
the
line is.
very average, but he might be slightly above that.
Of all the people still playing,
He's in the average bracket.
Because a lot of people stop playing the game, don't they? You know, when you compare it to the people still playing.
If we weren't doing this podcast, I'd probably be one of them.
Yeah.
True.
Overall, 1,232,948.
Oh my God, I've fallen down, haven't I?
So that's upper average.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Ugh, that's
Nice.
You keep telling yourself that.
Nice to be in the top million, maybe.
My team's falling apart, it seems. I'm really fed up with it. I'm fed up with the entire thing. Again, if this wasn't still doing this as a podcast.
I'm above you now, aren't I?
You are, yeah. That's how bleak it's got. You know? it's a grim scenario. So for me now, it's very much a case of fighting for that second place. That's now my aim.
Second place is on, isn't it?
It's all about that silver medal. Sam's won it. It's done. It's dusted.
No.
Sam has conquered the title.
Come
He's like
on.
Liverpool now,
At
right?
least you can at least
He's
both
done.
try.
No, well, yeah, we'll turn up like Pep Guardiola's
I
Man
am
City will
trying.
turn up. You know.
If you hadn't captained Aguero this week, would you be in a happier place?
No. Oh, well, I mean, to be in a happier place, it's hard not to be in a more dissatisfied place than I am right now. But I'd still be, you know, if I captained Salah instead of Aguero, I'd still be like 90 points behind you. So it wouldn't be much happier.
And why was Almaron your vice captain?
Because I'm so shit at saving my team. Why is that a functionality that exists? I'm sorry. At one point, I'm going to write a letter, a really angry letter to FPL, like proper old school. Write it down, scroll it in, saying, why doesn't it just save automatically? You know, when you're making your changes, why doesn't it just remember it? Why do you have to click the save button?
Are you going to cut
Google
the letters?
Docs can do it. Why can't the fantasy league?
Exactly. It's not that. The website actually is a really good website. The app's crap, right? But the website is a good website. But that functionality, I'll never understand it. I must have screwed up about 5 times this season from that.
But surely you learn from that mistake.
No.
You do it once,
Yeah.
think, I'm not going to do that again.
Well, the hard thing for me is that I play FPL on another website which doesn't have this functionality. You just change your team and magically it remembers it. So I'm constantly doing that on that website, and then on this one.
But I'm changing mine all the time, though. It's like you bring players in, take players out, and play around with it. You do want some kind of confirmation, otherwise it'd be a right state, wouldn't it?
Nah, I don't want it.
And you do need a button that says, actually, are you sure you want to do this? You know,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No,
when you bring Jack Grealish in and stuff.
I'm with Dave. You need the confirm
Oh yeah,
button.
of course you do.
For
You can't just-
transfers, yeah, but not for actually tinkering your team.
Yeah.
For transfers, yeah, you
Maybe.
need that button because sometimes you might regret
I
bringing
think
in
we just put
Almiron.
it down to user error, Miles.
Okay, fine.
I know, just making excuses.
You two both got over 50 points this season. This week, game week.
Yeah, I'd quite a good one. It wasn't looking overly sharp, but then my inspired substitution of bringing Bruno Fernandes in for Dele Alli paid off.
How many points did he get you?
He got 14, and if Martial had finished first time, at the first opportunity for his goal, he would have got another assist. But he didn't. So yeah, Bruno, he's the man. I think everyone's going to be piling on him this week.
What is he, like 8 million?
I think it's like 8.2 now. Everyone's again following my lead.
I hope that's short.
He's gradually getting more and more points every week since he joined United. So I was looking at him thinking, I could put an end to that.
Dave the Destroyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's everything you want in a footballer. He's got
Oh,
the
God.
confidence, the swagger, the speed of thought.
Speed thought.
Anyone who for their first goal, their first goal is going to be a penalty at Old Trafford. You know, the team needs a saviour, needs a saint to anoint, and you take a penalty like that. A little skip, jump, tap, goal.
Oh god.
Everton away this weekend. We'll see how he does there.
It looks like a good idea to put United players in with Everton away, but I don't know. I still can't commit to Manchester United players because I've been burnt by Martial before.
I'm burnt by him 4 out of 5 weeks, mate.
It's just Martial is the most frustrating player for me this season. Every time I put him in, he breaks something or goes on 3 games where he does nothing. I drop him.
Yeah, it just looks useless.
And then he's back in form again.
It's the story of my life. That.
It's happened every single time with him.
Yeah. I'm fed up with him. The only Man United player I've had any success with is out for ages, and that's Rashford, who I think early on in the season had a few games where he pocketed some goals. Martial, you've kept with him, haven't you? You've stuck with him, and he's actually delivered a bit for you.
I binned him off for a bit when he was injured, and then when he came back, I was like, yeah, go on then. Because of that price, having a starting forward for a upper echelon mid-table team is good value.
Yeah, I think you just expect too much from him slightly. Because having a look at him over the course of the season, his points are really impressive. He does go on little barren spells, but they're not that huge compared to some players.
Well, nothing compared to Vardy or Aguero's barren spell.
Is it Vardy hasn't scored since Christmas?
Yeah.
Vardy's got a post-baby drought.
Post-baby drought?
Yeah.
It's happened to us all.
Yours is 6 years going now, isn't it?
But no, I think it was his 3rd kid was born just after Christmas. No goals since.
What? Yeah. I can't
don't
believe
get that. You don't get that from Opta, do you?
You don't. Are we going to start delving into testosterone levels and things like that now? That can of Red Bull's really not working for him anymore, is it? But yeah, look at Martial, like 15 against Newcastle, 15 points, and then since then 8-2, 8-2, 2-3, 8-8. I mean, that is a decent return.
You can
Actually,
pretty much
that is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, slagging him off there.
I know.
I just end up with him in the 2s. When he gets the 2s, that's when I've got
That's
him.
when we've had him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I dropped him before that Newcastle game.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's such an
Even
annoying
before
player.
that, there was a couple of 2s and then a 10 against Man City. So he's pretty. I think he just ends up with a bad rep because of his body language, and he's that kind of player that you kind of want. Oh, come on, deliver every week. But
Smile. I think
enjoy it.
Against
Smile.
At the weekend against Watford, he was smiling. He looked like he was enjoying his football. And what's the difference? Bruno.
Oh, God.
That feel-good factor he brings.
Oh, yeah. And I also saw a quote from Fernandes saying that he was annoyed at Martial for not finishing first time because he doesn't get the assist. So I think secretly, or not even secretly, Fernandes decided not to join a La Liga or Serie A team just so he could pick himself in FPL because he's a player.
That'd be so fun playing FPL if you were on the game and
be
scoring
amazing,
goals. Just
wouldn't
triple captaining yourself. Oh,
You'd have to back yourself quite heavily, wouldn't you? I'd be thinking, no, I'm not gonna captain myself this week.
I wonder if Callum Wilson plays, and after his hot streak, he thought, I'm going to triple captain myself now, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you think Mane and Salah don't pick each other in their fantasy teams?
That's why they don't pass.
Oh no, I reckon Mane does, but I don't reckon Salah. I reckon Salah would.
Well, imagine you're a defender though, and you've got Vardy in your team, and he's running towards you, and you're thinking, I could really do with these points. Might just let him go this time.
We're overdue an FPL scandal, aren't we, really? Gambling scandal.
I reckon a Premier League win bonus probably trumps.
Probably, yeah.
You know.
Maybe. Depends what matters to them. Funny things matter to footballers, don't they?
In your win bonus, do you get? You get cash? You don't get respect. That's what we're trading in here.
FPL kudos.
And they've all got enough cash anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Can you buy respect? That's what they all.
Who got all your points this week, Dave?
Trent Alexander-Arnold got
he got like
2
10
assists.
points, didn't he?
So a captain Salah, so he came up trumps with 14, but Trent was on 10. And that was kind of it, really. Jimenez is turning into a decent transfer because he scored as well. So Calvert-Lewin also bagged, didn't he?
4 goals in 5 games.
So he should have got about 3 as well.
That's easily the best transfer you've made this season.
Yeah.
Every other
He's
player
up
you killed, and then him.
Yeah, he's been all right. I was just a bit. I did watch the match though, and I was a bit frustrated because, like, he had a couple of absolute sitters to level it against Arsenal as well. Arsenal did that thing where they played really well, but then they didn't kind of increase their lead. And the last 10 minutes, Everton just kind of like flooded onto them a bit. And Calvert-Lewin was so close to scoring. This is the great thing about FPL, because a game that means nothing to me suddenly became very exciting at the end there. And also just still kind of judging Pepe and thinking to myself, should I put Aubameyang in the team? Are Arsenal a changed team at the moment?
5 points, Pepe, this weekend.
Yeah, Pepe's turned around a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah,
So
it's funny that, isn't it? Funny, isn't it? Well,
did you hear the pod last week where Manish was
Listen,
having a little dig at you about him?
Listen, 2 of Pepe's assists don't count for starters, because the one that Aubameyang scored with the header against Newcastle was just like my 1-year-old daughter could have defended better from that. That was horrendous. Lacazette's goal, he scuffed it. I think he kicked it off his right foot onto his left, which then went back onto his right and trickled in.
That trick
doesn't count. Doesn't count as an assist. So yeah, sell him.
That's a bit like an assist I got last night at football, where I squared the ball, right, we're playing a cage, and it hit the top of the cage, nearly going over the fence into the cricket field. Landed down, the guy picked up the ball and then took on every player on the opposite team and scored.
Wow.
Isn't it?
And
that's an assist. That's an assist.
It is technically.
It's an assist. I was the last person to touch the ball
by the
scored.
ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the idea of you playing in a cage.
I often do it.
Sancho, Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Milner.
You've
the
seen
Volta
it.
dream team.
Yeah.
Do either of you have Aguero suffering through that 0 points that he got?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think he's out for me.
He's out
Yeah.
with the missed match this weekend. I guess it's a good time for it. Must be a few players.
But I think he's
packing him off.
is it 3 on the bounce? He's not done anything in.
Yeah, it didn't start last night as well against Real Madrid. Maybe falling out of favour a little bit.
I've really enjoyed this because I didn't have him and you two both had him, and I was really worried about the amount of points he was going to bring up because City had some decent fixtures, didn't they? And he even got a penalty and missed it, which was amazing as well, as from one of the best strikers in Premier League history. But
he's not quite at Martial levels of
No.
frustration for me right now, but he's up there.
Oh no, he bags more, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And with City's penalty against Real Madrid, I was pleased that De Bruyne would appear to be now on penalties because you're racking up a few points. But I think we've all got him, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's of no real benefit or differential. But I'm also disappointed that De Bruyne was on it because I want Edison to take him.
oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
And
Why isn't he taking it?
Chilavert.
well, yeah, and I want him to do it because it's just a good spectacle. Everyone loves a keeper scoring, and he's gonna absolutely welly it, which would be brilliant, like Nicky Culkin style. But what I would then don't want to happen is the massive loving that will be, oh my God, Pep Guardiola is a revolutionary genius having his penalty keeper, and when guys in Colombia have been doing it for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah. He wouldn't let it happen. I don't think Pep would
lesser
let it
of two
happen.
evils.
I think it's a bit shithousery, isn't it, getting the keeper up to take a penalty? It's like your way of going, well, we are so much better than you, we're even going to let our keeper take the pens.
No, it's the opposite.
Is it?
You're going, we desperately need this goal. Scoring against you is so important that we're going to have our best possible penalty taker take it.
There's a risk, isn't there, that they could just counter and smash it in the other end.
Madness. It's madness if your best penalty taker in the team is goalkeeper.
No, it's not.
What, when you've got
made a
10
career out of it.
footballers on a football field who can't take a penalty?
Are you saying
No,
goalkeepers
no.
aren't footballers?
No, but I'm saying the goalkeeper's job isn't primarily to use his feet, is it?
But
It's
what
to
if
use
the
his
goalkeeper
hands,
is
like-
really good at penalties? What
But
if he's
fair-
really good?
fair play,
You've seen
fair play.
You've
I
seen
agree.
Edison's passing range.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
He's got a foot like a traction engine.
But if you put De Bruyne in goal, he'd do the same, wouldn't he?
yeah, but maybe you can't kick it as far.
As
You need a bit of
I'm
heft.
pretty sure that...
Maybe
well,
it's come down to like
I don't know.
maybe it's come down to how you used to pick teams in primary school. All right, who can kick it the
Yeah.
furthest? Right, you're taking goal
Yeah, you
kicks. Now it should be who can kick it the hardest. You're taking pens.
Fair enough.
I would like to see more of that, definitely.
Yeah.
It's always South Americans that are taking penalties, the goalkeepers. I'm just having a quick look here at the league, the standings. We'll quickly run through that. Sam, as I mentioned before, is still riding high at the top with 1,510 points. Then it's me, 1,414 points, and then it's Dave with 1,394 points.
Not even in the 1,400.
There's
club.
that.
Oh,
That 20 points.
Sam's happy with that. In our public show league, Meenal Islam is still top of our league with over 1,700 points, which is frankly ludicrous. He has fallen down the overall rankings, slipped to 186th in the whole world. So, he's really fallen off the wagon there. But he's still 300 points above me and 200 points above Sam.
Do you know what's class about his team? Is that it's called it goal.
Oh, yeah. So he's on brand.
Yeah.
A bit like your jumper.
big time. When you are the brand, you live your brand, don't you?
Podcast listeners and YouTube viewers, you can join our league and test yourself against us all season long. In the public league, the code to type in on the FPL website is NHC4WZ. Let's move on then. So this week, our big talking point is actually unrelated to the Premier League in a way. It's how Manchester City are facing Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup final, which means 2 games are off this weekend. Man City against Arsenal was meant to be on Sunday, and Aston Villa against Sheffield United was meant to be on Saturday, which is kind of a match blow that affects quite a lot of FPL managers because there's a lot of top teams in there, or teams like Villa and Sheffield United who've accrued some big names like Grealish or Lundstrom over the course of the season. Were you guys affected at all by these fixtures?
Yeah, I'd forgotten that Sheffield United were part of it.
All
So I'd spent like the last few days thinking about what I'd do with my 2 City players, and that was all that was going to affect me. And then when I checked this morning, I was like, oh, shit. I've got Henderson, and I don't really know what to do about him. It's been left me perplexed still for a number of hours. So I've got 3. Which is not as bad as some people, because I know a lot of people have gone pretty intense on the Sheffield United defence. So, yeah, I've been off Aguero. That's all I've come up with.
How many transfers have you got to make?
I've got 1 and
One
a wild
for you.
card.
Okay. Oh, wild card. You still have
wild
it?
card.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but you got a new wild card, didn't you?
Yeah, we used it straight away, me and Dave.
Really?
We were desperate.
You burned your second
It
wild
worked
card.
well
haven't
for
you?
Dave,
yeah,
but not
of
me.
course.
The technical term, Rob, is a Hail Mary.
Yeah. Desperation stakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a master plan about my wild card, about when to deploy it.
What are you chasing now,
Which
by
I
the way?
can't wait to bring you the first insight of on the podcast.
Do you have a points total or something that you're going for? Because obviously you've won this league, mini league we're in.
See, you're trying to reverse jinx this. Now.
No, I'm not. You have.
Child.
You have. No, I'm not being like that. You have. Like
Alright,
so.
child.
No, what are you going for? I want to know what's driving you.
Just victory. the constant pursuit of perfection.
Just battering. It's like.
It's getting across the line and then just keeping going so that these two are just further and further and further.
Yeah, I'm the
behind,
Sergio
isn't it?
Ramos of fantasy football.
So you're going to do your wild card this week?
No.
Right, okay.
But I'm going to get rid of Aguero, and ideally I'd be bringing him in, for, Aubameyang in for him, but he's obviously not playing. So I'm going to maybe bring Firmino in for a little 1 week wonder. I could.
Liverpool have Watford.
Yeah, Watford away. So yeah, I could bring Firmino in. I've got Salah. They've got 2 Liverpool players in then.
I'm starting to get a bit cautious with Liverpool that they might start rotating. Hasn't quite happened yet, has it? But you've got the FA Cup midweek against Chelsea. I think it's midweek. Next week.
But I think they'll toss that off out the 3
You think
that
so?
left in. Yeah.
Rather than what, the 22 points or whatever it is clear.
I think they'll win the league first.
Right, okay.
You know, they'll just go,
We have
take it
to do
one
it.
game at a time, lads. One game at a time. If you've won nothing yet, you have. So yeah, I think City are more at risk of FPL rotation, even more so than usual, because they're not going to win the Prem, but they could go and win the Champions League. So I think De Bruyne will end up being a victim of that.
De Bruyne, God, I hope not. He's holding my team together. He's like the only good player I've got left, to be honest.
You've just played a fucking wild card.
My team is so pathetic. I was looking, and I made 2 transfers this week because I was affected strongly by these postponements. So I had 2 Man City players. I had Martinelli. Why do I have Martinelli? I don't know. And then Lundstrom, who's obviously been dropped recently since the January transfer window. So I tossed out Lundstrom and Martinelli, but I'm still left with 2 City players who, as you say, are probably going to get rotated in this Pep Guardiola maelstrom that is the Champions League attempt. And yeah, even after that, I've got Almiron. What was I thinking? Putting Almiron in my team.
We said
Tanganga.
this though, didn't we?
Terrible. I tried to top load it because I wanted all the best players, but as a result, I just got all the shit players to balance it out. So now
with a little like Salah and Van Dijk garnish.
pretty much, yeah, and it just all went horribly wrong. So my team's a mess. Is the consequence of this? I'm not doing my free hit yet though. That's another option for FPL managers.
Yeah, surely this is a week for a free hit. Surely,
Oh,
if you've still got it
no.
though.
I would argue not,
Yeah.
Really?
because there should be an FA Cup round coming up that will completely destroy everything. And I bet there's going to be a load of coronavirus stuff actually that kicks off, and you start getting fixtures postponed from that. And then there's another things for fantasy managers to consider.
This could scupper Sam's season, the coronavirus.
See, this is what you're all praying for now, that the coronavirus becomes such a global pandemic that they cancel football, and therefore cancel the fantasy football league. Therefore, I don't claim the trophy.
Default. No victory by default. That would be a bitter way to lose.
Be glorious, wouldn't it?
You're straying into Deli Alley territory.
It would be heartbreaking for me, but I'd also like the fact that'd be a good quiz question answer.
Yeah.
Of who should have won the first ever Golf Fantasy Football League host podcast league.
But even, let's put aside coronavirus, even with that there, right, there should be an FA Cup, what, we're in the 5th round now we're coming towards?
Yep.
The 6th round, there'll start being clash of fixtures in the semi-finals. So I think it's worth waiting for that, personally. Because there are a lot of Premier League teams still left in, aren't there? It's not like previous seasons where a lot of the big guns got booted out quite early.
Yeah, and I like the idea of that free hit for the double game weeks.
Yeah.
And just maxing it out as much as you can there.
Can you do free hit and bench boost at the same
No.
time? You can't.
No.
That was what I wanted to do.
But I think my wild card will revolve around getting in a team that I can use my bench boost for. Because at the moment I've got Button, which is pointless. Kelly doesn't seem to be. He seems to have been dropped or is injured. One of the two. Rob, stop trashing the studio.
Throwing things around. Sorry.
So yeah, I've got a plan. Can't wait to action it.
Okay. What about you, Dave?
I'm
What are
not
you
too
doing?
massively affected by the cup final. I've got De Bruyne in there, and Lundstrom's on the bench at the moment. So
Who's your keeper?
Gator still.
Oh yeah, because we talked
I
about
never
this last
swapped
week.
it.
Didn't we?
I'm quite glad I didn't actually, because he still brings in the points, and
Yeah.
Palace aren't on.
How
They
much
won,
is he?
didn't they, last week?
Against Newcastle, yeah.
How much is he? Good question. How much is he?
Thank you.
I think he's like 4.5.
5.1.
5 point. Wow.
Wow, more than I thought.
I think I've got a bit in the bank as well still, actually. I think I've got
Sure.
like 2.4. So,
Flush with cash, mate.
yeah. But I haven't got any massive trans. I think the only person I'm circling on is Mount a little bit here, and I might just replace him with Richarlison, as Everton are going to turn Man United over this weekend.
I'm intrigued by Richarlison.
Yeah.
He's got 5 more. He's got double the amount of goals as Mount, but the same assists.
Really?
Yeah. Did a bit of research before, lads.
Yeah.
Is that Richarlison's
Certainly brings the
you're looking at
points
there?
in, doesn't he?
Yeah. And Everton are very much an attacking FPL team rather than a defensive one. So, yeah, I like the look of Richarlison.
Yeah. Could just, double up on Everton players with Calvin Lewin and him, and double bubble there. See how it goes. But yeah, the rest of it doesn't really affect me because I haven't got any Arsenal players in the team. And just the
Grealish.
one Sheffield, no Grealish, and just the one Sheffield player, and one Man City player. But De Bruyne's a difficult one. Do you really take him out for one game?
No.
It depends when you got him in, doesn't it?
Because there's the cost implication, isn't there? Because if you've had him all season, I think he's 10.3 in my team. But then if you want to get him back in, he's 10.8.
Yeah. I haven't had anyone all season though, Rob. Like this team has been changed. Like every position has been.
You had De Bruyne a while.
I might have. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. Feels like this team's been changed almost on a fairly regular basis.
You've had him a bit, haven't you? Because he's in my team, he's 10.1 because I correctly called pre-season that he would be the most valuable player in the league.
Yeah, it's him and
it's
Ross Barkley, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. So I'd lose bucket loads, and you'd lose a ton as well. So you've got to keep De Bruyne, mate. Tip from the top.
What about you, Rob? Are you affected by this experiment?
Decimated.
Decimated?
6 of my squad are out of action this weekend, which is not helpful. This is from overloading with Sheffield United defenders, 2 City players, and Jack Grealish.
No Arsenal players, though.
No, I haven't touched them all season.
Good choice.
So I've got 2 free transfers, so I'll use them and busk it with me bench and 10 players because I don't want to burn the wild card. And
You don't want your free hit? You were talking it up a minute ago.
free hits played,
Ah, right, okay.
been and gone.
When did you use that? Can you remember?
Yes, it was when I was first on the show.
Oh, yeah, I remember you doing that.
Because
actually,
I put my money where my mouth was and
Tell you what, that was a good week as well for
put
you,
that
wasn't
actual
it?
team in and got 70 points.
I was about to say you were top of the guest league for a good chunk of the season.
I
Weren't you?
was kind of hoping that I still would be, but I'm second now. So
Yeah.
so I've got
Yeah, we did get 70 odd.
70
70
points.
points, yeah.
So I've got quite a lot to live up
Decent.
to.
Yeah, we'll come back to that a little bit later. So I guess, I mean, I'm looking at my team here. I think my team's in shape now. I've made my 2 transfers. I'm resting De Bruyne and Aguero. You've not got to do anything really because you've.
No,
got
I
so
think I
few
should
players.
just like a lot of this. If this season's taught me anything, it's that tinkering a little bit too much is probably the worst thing you can do. Like the knee-jerk reactions to just overhauling teams and getting players out who are fairly consistent. Martial's kind of an example of that, really. I think he's a good one that in future might be just worth sticking with him, rather than just being like, oh, I'm fed up of him, get him out. You know,
I think
Vardy
so.
could come back to
he's
Horners.
He's not a bank breaker, is he?
No.
On the subject of knee jerking, I was looking at the most transferred in for this round, and 10,000 people thought it was a good idea to get Vidra from Burnley in because he scored in the last game. He started 2 matches all season.
Vidra's like, he's doing well.
They're the last 2 games, and he scored in both of them.
Yeah.
But really,
Yeah, that's a little.
He was a real championship superstar, was Vidra, when he was playing there. But I haven't seen much of him since he's been with Burnley
that's
in
because
the
he's
Premier
not been
League.
playing. That's why you've not seen.
Yeah.
Do you know who the most transferred in player is?
Bruno Fernandes.
It is, yeah. 230,000 people so far have transferred him in. And that's why he's 8.2 now. You know what? 150,000 people have transferred in Vardy. Does some people, do they know what something like that?
Well, that's that Leicester fixture, isn't it, against Norwich? And it's the same for me. I was screaming out, isn't it, Vardy, that? Surely. He's going to score.
Not with his barren baby run.
Nah, it's all right.
He's done.
Baby will be sleeping now, so he's fine. So he's back in the goals, particularly as it's Norwich away as well.
This is some great dad's insight, isn't it? Yeah. This is what the kids won't be able to.
Yeah.
36% of people still have Vardy. I can't believe that. I guess that's just people just lazily not.
Have you
fine.
both binned them off?
Yeah, yeah.
I've still got him.
I've still got him. Can't wait to reap the rewards this weekend.
Yeah.
Might captain him actually. Fuck it. Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is.
You see, Ings is playing against West Ham, so I'm thinking, there's potential points there. Jimenez, Tottenham, and Calvert-Lewin, Man United. So it's slightly more difficult.
Calvert-Lewin's going to be my captain. He's going to smash United.
Oof.
Don't let personal emotion come into this.
Trying to trigger you there, isn't he?
He will. He'll do well. I can't remember who Newcastle have got this weekend. I can't believe I've still got Almer on. Oh my God, what's he doing there? Burnley at home. What a dreadful fixture that is going to be.
Burnley are impressive. I mean, turning Bournemouth over 3-0.
Is that
And
not
then,
because
like,
Bournemouth
just-
are awful?
They've revived the team a bit, haven't
They
they?
were like, Bournemouth were looking like they were kind of getting back, were they? And then, I don't know. You've still got to beat a team, haven't you?
Didn't
Yeah.
we
Put in front of you.
Didn't we spend a good chunk of a previous podcast saying Bournemouth were just going to be relegated in the shit?
It's one of the only times
Yeah.
I've got anything right this season. When
And then after that, they won 2 games.
Yeah. Come on,
Um,
the Geordies.
but Burnley, look at Burnley. Unbeaten
10th
in
now,
5,
yeah. Top 10. Doing all right. 37 points. Equal with Arsenal.
The thing is with Burnley is I do look at the team and I'm not really sure who the point scorers are. Like who I would necessarily put in the team. Woods up.
Barnes hasn't really been that good this season, has he?
They started off decent, didn't they?
One game.
And
yeah.
I don't know if you remember, it might have been like the last pod before the first game of the season, and we were looking at who'd overperformed in pre-season, and Chris Wood had scored like 9, and I was there going, nah, there's no way he'll get anywhere close to that this season. He's got 10. It's February.
He did start slow, so I did think initially you were going to be right there.
Yeah,
But he's picked up a bit. Picked up that pace.
See, Dwight McNeil is like, what is he, like 6th in
He
the
got a
form
few points
table
yeah.
For midfielders in FPL. So I'm assuming there's something that's happening there.
14
but-
points. That's all on one game, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, it's really just, what is it, like clean sheets maybe? Or
He could get a few against
I
Newcastle.
don't know.
We're not great.
Can't be, can it?
Yeah, there's no attacking return there.
Robert Snodgrass popping up in the form table there.
Yeah. He always has that that month in a season.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what a player. They're not back off the radar.
Now he's actually started playing. He's a good, dependable guy.
Mm.
Decent set piece.
Very good at set
A lot of
pieces.
managers lean on him for very short periods of time when things are getting a bit rough. Just going like, okay, like Snodgrass, you
Like,
take free kicks
who
and
we
you
gonna
take
call?
corners.
Who
and
we
you
gonna call?
Yeah, because he can do
Get
stuff like
snoddy.
that, can't he? Yeah.
Well, he's an option then, isn't he, for this weekend? If you're looking at a happy transfer, who have they got? Southampton at home.
Yeah,
There's potential. points in that.
5.2
Potential points in that for
Snodgrass.
sure.
So, yeah,
So are you taking any transfer hits, Dave, or are you just riding yours through?
I've got 1 free transfer, so I'm not gonna. What do you mean? I'm gonna take a points deduction or anything? Or?
Yeah.
No. I don't think so. No, I'm just going to ride it out. I think, like I said, I think Mount's probably the only one I'm really a bit like, But they've got Bournemouth, so I don't know.
Yeah, but who's he going to pass to actually score a goal?
Giroud.
Yeah.
Just
Giroud's
lob it in there
now.
for him to nod it in.
Is Tammy Abraham still out? Or has he been out? Or is he
Yeah,
out?
he was benched last week and then came on.
Yeah.
So he might stick him back in from the start.
I think Giroud will get a show of faith. Be my prediction. I might put Giroud in my team. I've made my transfers. I can't. Maybe next week. Maybe next week. Look forward to that. Leaving behind our Carabao Cup chat then, let's have a look specifically at Game Week 28. Before we run through mine, Sam and Dave's changes, Rob will be revealing his 1 week wonder team. He has to pick a team to get as many points as possible from this one game week. Last week, our outgoing multimedia producer, Manish Patel, bagged a slightly disappointing 47 points, but our overall high score is from our Liverpool correspondent Neil Jones with 77. As we mentioned before, Rob has already got a pretty impressive 70 points this season. That's a high mark. How are you going to try and improve on that?
I want to know why Sam's filming me before we continue.
Just wanted to get a nice picture of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a nice one?
Needs work, man. Needs some serious work, that, I'm afraid.
Okay, the team. I've gone for a slightly left field goalkeeper in Martin Dubravka.
That is left field. So far left field.
However,
It's off the field.
Sam looks perplexed and concerned.
You've said it now, so.
But how many teams have got a better home defensive record than Newcastle in the Premier League?
7.
1.
Is it? Is that true?
Get out of town.
That is true. That is a true fact. Look,
Wow. Silence here in the podcast.
I will
I
say
didn't think he
this.
was going to bring research.
I'm
to
not
this.
sure
You see,
that.
Rob said this with such passion and credibility that we're all just taking it. And he's like, oh, look it up. So you think, well,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
can't dare question his authority. And
Yeah.
Only Liverpool have conceded less at home than Newcastle.
holy shit.
So, you know.
We must have conceded a lot away from home then.
And Burnley don't score that many away.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Fair enough. I mean, Dubravka is probably.
And as well, he makes a lot of saves.
He also chucks a lot in. Like, he used to be, like in previous seasons, I was defending him. I think he was great, but he's not been good this season. But as you say, at home, we are a bit better. We do play 5 at the back. And
So, you know,
Yeah.
we go left field there.
Okay.
Into the defence, Trent Alexander-Arnold, because if you haven't got him in your team, there's something wrong with you.
if you've got 7.7 million spare, I suppose. I can't afford it.
Yeah, but he's
Miles sounds so bitter this week.
he's the third highest scoring player overall.
Yeah.
So why would you not put him in your team?
Well, yeah.
Very
You're a good
point.
FPL manager, maybe.
And then the defence goes a bit left field again with Brighton's Lewis Dunk and Crystal Palace's Patrick Van Aanholt.
That's not that left field.
Yeah.
Arnold just smashed it this weekend, didn't he? Against
Yeah.
Newcastle. Who've Palace got this weekend?
They're playing Brighton.
Which is
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go.
It's that derby
It's
game,
that,
isn't
it's
it?
that weird
Strange
derby,
yeah.
which
You're going for an early
So it
kickoff.
could be a feisty
0-0.
one.
I'm just hoping for a 0-0, basically. It just needs to be 0-0 there. Into the midfield, Sadio Mane, Anthony Martial, who is getting a third chance from me.
Go on.
He'd better not annoy me again, as he has done on so many occasions.
Yeah.
Richarlison, as discussed already, worth a look,
Yeah.
decent value. And then Lucas Moura, who is starting for Spurs at the moment, given that poor old Jose has so few options.
Yeah.
Poor Jose. So sorry for him.
That's your midfield then. Who have you got up front?
And then front three of out of form, but about to come back into form, new dad Jamie Vardy, away at Norwich. If he can't score there, there's something badly wrong. Raul Jimenez, and then Danny Ings as well to make up the forward line.
That's a strong 11.
Yeah, I'm quite happy.
apart from Dubravka, but it's a strong 11.
I'm quite happy with that.
Okay.
Do you need the bench as well, or you're not?
I would quite like the bench, yes.
You'd like the bench
in
as
case
well?
that one of them don't play.
Button as the goalkeeper, then Todd Campbell, Charlie Taylor, and Tanganga.
Tanganga, what a cheap player he is. Sorry, who was the middle one there? Taylor.
Yeah, Charlie Taylor.
Excellent. Who's your captain out of that selection?
See, I haven't settled on the captain yet.
It's about time.
I'm going to have to do that now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Let's go with Trent.
Trent. Oh, okay.
Tidy.
That could be a good pick. They're good at clean sheets, aren't they, Liverpool? Lately, they didn't get one at the weekend. Not the weekend.
Oh, they've got a
Monday.
ridiculous amount.
Yeah, apart from the West Ham game, they've been absolutely ripping it up for clean sheets.
I mean, that was the primary reason Dave was catching me up for so long, because he had 2 Liverpool defenders.
Yeah, they've done me well.
Yeah, they have.
Stuck with them as well.
I gave a definitive cheer and that pump of my hand when West Ham scored 1. Wasn't bothered about the result. I just wanted them to just nail you guys.
Do you not have any Liverpool defenders then?
Nah,
No.
don't need them, mate.
Well, evidently, I wish I could argue against that, but I can't. Best of luck with that team, Rob. We'll
Thank
take
you
a
very
look at how it's done next week. So moving along, Sam, who have you tossed in, or who are you going to toss in?
I think I'm just going to keep Henderson and just take it on the chin because I'd have to lose 4 points. If I got anyone in, they would have to get a clean sheet, and it's a big risk.
You can afford to lose some points now.
I can.
You've won the league, basically.
But you don't win the league by tossing points away.
He said it. He said it. He's actually said it.
Tarkowski, always a lot of trust in him. He's staying in the middle. Kelly, Soyuncu, Williams and Tanganga. I'll figure that out at some stage. I don't think Kelly's playing at the moment, but big fat wow.
He's so cheap.
Don't need him.
Yeah.
Salah, De Bruyne obviously ain't going to make it. So it'd be Martial, Cantwell and Fernandes. And then up top, Vardy, Ayew is going to be getting a rare start.
Oh, wow.
And Firmino in for Aguero, I think. And I think Vardy's going to be my captain.
That's going to be disappointing for you, I think. But, we'll see.
Oh, it's going to hurt if Vardy scores. That's why he's done it.
It'll make or break your weekend, won't it? With them playing on Friday night.
That's true.
It will have little to no consequence for that my weekend. However, these two.
God.
Right, so I'm putting Vardy back in. I can't deal with it.
I've made 2 transfers, as we discussed. Doherty's come in. Calvert-Lewin's come in. He scored 4 in his last 5. Couldn't resist. Thought, I'm going to derail your Calvert-Lewin train by putting him in. Jinx him. Lord Lundstrom and Martinelli being cut because they've got no games this week. They weren't pulling up trees anyway. So my shit team that I still have got put together here is McCarthy in goal, Van Dijk, Gomez, Doherty and Dunk in defence, Almiron, Christ, Maddison, Lucas Moura, Salah in midfield. I put here Salah being my captain, but that's changed now to Calvert-Lewin. And then Greenwood is joining him up front. De Bruyne and Aguero gathering dust on my bench alongside Tanganga, another terrible pickup of mine.
Doherty's an interesting one.
Yeah. He's doing really well at the moment.
He is. And I saw a stat that I think the last match they played, he had the most touches in the box.
Oh, really?
And they've changed their formation slightly, so it means Jota's come back in. There's no Traore, but it's benefiting. Essentially, it benefits the formation is benefiting Jota and Doherty. So yeah, it's still quite a few quid though, isn't he?
I know that was one hesitance I had, but I just thought, you know what, I need to do something to keep Dave at bay, and this is going to be because he hasn't got Doherty, so he can't, can't copy me on that. Well, he can next week if he smashes it, I suppose.
He could copy you now. Actually,
he could. I'm watching him do his
just
thing.
doing
He's
it
just
now,
adding him in.
just finishing it.
But Wolves have a really good run coming up, so I think quite a few people have Jimenez already. I can see Traore and Dave's team still lurking there.
He's not been doing much recently though.
Yeah, but don't tell Dave.
Because we put him in, that's why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who you should pick up from Wolves, although not necessarily for this week, as they're at Spurs, but Willy Bowley. Since he's come back in, I think it's something like 4 clean sheets on the bounce, and he's cheap as chips as well.
Yeah.
I'd fancy him a clean sheet against Spurs, to be quite honest. I mean, don't really think the Spurs are all that, are they?
No, definitely not. And with that attack, that's pretty good chance of it. So that's why he's in my team. So he could hopefully live up to that hype.
Yeah.
I did have Willy Bowley earlier this season. I had him 1 time, and he got a red card. So he's dead to me this season.
I think I had him at some point as well.
Yeah, he was quite a good.
I've had them all.
He was quite cheap early on. I think he was the cheapest Wolves defender. And so I was like, oh yeah, we'll toss him in.
Yeah, he got injured though.
Injured, red card, it all went wrong for him. But now he's back, better than ever.
Get him back in.
So you done with your transfers now, Dave? You settled on
I
Mount?
haven't made a transfer as such, but I've just set the team up, just taking those players out, De Bruyne and Lundstrom. Kelly's not playing, is he really, for Palace?
That's what Sam said.
Yeah.
I'll take his word for it.
So, yeah. And Tanganga is for Spurs, so that would be my swap. Maybe put him in the back 3 with Trent and Van Dijk.
Are you going to keep hold of Lundstrom for much longer? You've got rid of him now, Maz, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's worth keeping as a bench option.
No, he's not.
He doesn't
No,
come on
no, he
anymore.
is.
Come on.
He came on and scored a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but that was a few weeks ago, Rob. Live in the now.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's completely out of the picture at Sheffield. Might be wrong.
But if you've got a bench player that's just coming off the bench and getting like 1 point, is that what you want? No.
And
But
with
if
Sam
he-
on
but
this.
if he
I
come-
don't know.
But if he comes on and scores, that's not 1 point, is it?
Yeah.
Depends whether he gets sent off and misses.
Oh, stop it.
Right, let's
He's staying because it's not worth taking him out at the moment.
It is
So
fine.
it's just the team's pretty much like Tanganga, Trent, Van Dijk, Traore stays in there. Salah's going to be captain. Decore will definitely score against Liverpool. You've heard it now. Here first.
He's your vice captain there.
Yeah, he's vice captain, but I guarantee he'll score.
He's been wicked as well, actually. I was watching
know, I
him at
love
the
him.
weekend, and did he have a shot that hit the post
Yeah.
against
came
United?
close.
And all I could think was great shout, Dave. Great shout.
He just looks. He's always like hovering in on the edge of the
Yeah.
area. He's kind of he plays a brilliant role for Watford. Obviously, it's a tough game against Liverpool, so I don't know if he'll be just trying to put out fires or whatever. But
Do you think he's the new Yaya Toure?
I don't know. I wouldn't.
It's too early. It's too early to
Make
tell.
that
It's too early to tell.
So yeah, Mount versus Bournemouth, and then Ings, Jimenez, and Calvin-Lewin up front.
Okay, we'll see how that does. See if you can catch me this week, finally.
Mm.
I'll be so sad if I dropped the bottom, but you'll be happy. So at least
Yeah.
one of us will be.
Remember, there
cheering
was a time when you were bottom and I was second. Or
That was like
maybe I was
week one.
first for like.
Sam was bottom in week 1, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been bottom?
No, I don't think I have.
No?
That's why it's going to be so sad. But I'm sure
It's
once
not
I
gonna
get there, I'll
happen.
stay there.
It's not going to
All right, let's wrap this up. Dave, Sam, Rob, thank you very much for joining us today. Podcast listeners, YouTube viewers, you can get in touch by tweeting your fancy football thoughts with the hashtag UKFFS. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, follow on Spotify, or however you listen to podcasts on your favourite platform. Leave a review if you liked it, and if you didn't, what are you still doing here? Check out Goal for your daily dose of football news from the Premier League and around the world. Thanks for listening.